had messaged a ton of people that sold iPhone screens. And I said, do you recycle? Do you recycle? Do you recycle? And like 5 or 10% of them said yes.
And so it's important to copy the model exactly at the beginning, because you're also going to learn what it is about that existing model that works.
Yeah.
And therefore what you can iterate on, change, expand. If you didn't, then you might miss something.
Exactly. Because so often I've made the mistake of looking at another business and saying, oh man, why are they doing that?
And there was a second where I think we were tempted to try and reinvent the wheel. But the question I ask myself now, with the wisdom of like many years of business, is like, why did it end up that way? Which is, why did our competitor, who's been doing this for 50 years, end up there? Because as you said, there's clearly a set of things that have happened that have made them conclude, whether it's at scale or some other factor that's made them conclude that this is the best way of doing it. And just like you, I've been wrong so many times where I've thought, oh, they're just idiots. That's why they can't see this obvious thing. But actually their model is stress tested in the market much more than mine is. So maybe I should put my ego aside and at least start how they start, as you said, which I think is really important advice.
Yeah.
What happened with Buc-ee's?
So this was during the time when I was running that business, shipping products for other companies, right? Buc-ee's is a gas station brand with only 50 locations. And from those 50 locations, they do billions of dollars of revenue. I say gas station, they're between 40,000 and 80,000 square feet.
Wow.
They're massive. They have an amazing brand, an amazing logo, and they just have a lot of trust from their customers. But these gas stations are like, they're on the way out to these road trip destinations. They're out in the middle of nowhere. And so if you live in Dallas and you're driving down to the beach, you're going to stop by Buc-ee's on the way there and on the way back, and you're probably going to spend hundreds of dollars, right? You're going to fill up the tank, then you're going to buy shirts and snacks and all that stuff. So at the time we were running this e-commerce fulfillment business, we went to Buc-ee's. I brought my cousin, my business partner, just to kind of show him the experience. And we were just having a conversation. I remember exactly where I was. I was like under this underpass, this huge underpass in DFW. We were driving home. And I said, man, these guys must kill it online. They must sell so much stuff.
Why?
Because I knew that Disney sells like billions of dollars of t-shirts on their website, right? I read a stat recently. So I kind of just took that data point, connected it to Buc-ee's and said, all right, Buc-ee's is a fraction of the size of Disney, but they have the same amount of brand loyalty. People love their shirts. You'll see their shirts all over the world, even though they only have 50 locations like in the Southeast, right? And so we went to their website and there was no shop button. There was no place to buy their stuff. And I was just like all the light bulbs were going off at once, right? It was like, oh my gosh, okay. We need to reach out to them. Like, we need to bring them online. I just had all these ideas, and my cousin is much more balanced than I am.